Hey guys! Today I'm going to be doing school supplies that you need for college. And in a separate video, I'll be doing what you need for the dorms. I went to Cal State LA for my first year, so I'm heading for my second year. So I have a lot of friends that are from class of 2025 or just people in general, tips of what you need and what you don't need, because I know seeing TikToks, they might discourage you, or you might look at it and be like, oh, do I really need it though? What if I don't need it? I'm just gonna be spending for spending. So welcome to what you need in college, cheap edition. So let's get to it. So for starters, well, you need pencils. Pencils, honestly, I've seen cheap pencils at like the Dollar Tree, but the quality might not be the greatest. Now, there really isn't a preference of, oh, I need a lead pencil. Oh, I need like an actual pencil, like a wooden pencil. Though for some tests, they will require like a wooden, like actual pencils. Normally it's number 2 pencils, those yellow ones with like little eraser and stuff like that. So you can either get them at the Dollar Tree. I've seen that they have like good ones, and they're cheap. It's $1.25. And if not, the local Walmart might be a good option for that. So, and don't forget, you need a sharpener or the little refiller lead for your pencils. And always carry them, because you never know when you're gonna run out or when it's gonna keep breaking. So trust me, you should always carry one with you. My go-to for notebooks is Walmart. Normally I get the spiral notebooks because I just feel like it's easier to turn the page, and plus the Walmart ones are pretty good quality and they're pretty much of a good size. Oops, wrong way. So they're not bad, and Walmart tends to do like a sale where the notebooks are like literally 45 cents, not dollars, cents. They also have like a really good amount of pages. They're lined. They also have graphic notebooks, they have composition notebooks, and honestly they're pretty cheap. So I recommend Walmart. If not, you could probably find some at a dollar store or like at a Staples, but as you go on you might get more costly notebooks. Something else that you really need are highlighters. Highlighters are so important. I always use them, whether if it's for a book, on my notes, like even online, like when I'm like doing notes on a tablet or whatever. Always use highlighters. So you can either get highlighters at the Dollar Tree, at Walmart. Honestly, you can find highlighters everywhere. I have these highlighters that my mom got me for my birthday. I don't know if it'll focus. They're just little teddy bears, and each teddy bear is like a little highlighter, and they turn out pretty good. Just be careful when you put them back in, they might get damaged. So probably get normal highlighters. Something else you might need that you might not think of is a ruler. Now, a lot of classes have rulers in them, but sometimes you need one on the go and you don't have one. And I literally didn't have one for the first few times, and I would use a measuring tape. Kind of inconvenient if I do say so myself. So just get a regular ruler. Again, you can find those at Dollar Tree for like $1.25. Yeah. Something that you also really need are scissors. Scissors, if you ever need to cut, I mean, obviously you need them to cut something, but if you're making projects, etc. So yeah, and also make sure there are good scissors. They're not like flimsy like scissors, because if they're not sharp, it's gonna just damage whatever you're cutting, and it can even be dangerous. As I learned in my job, the sharper the scissors, the safer they are, or sharper the knife, the safer it is, which is ironic, but it makes sense, because if you're trying to cut something and it's dull, the knife's just gonna go flying. But if it's sharp, it's gonna, you know. Now, yes, pencils have erasers most of the time, at least, but trust me, you're gonna want a big eraser. And like, don't get one of those like gigantic erasers. No, because it's gonna be a little weird. But just get like a regular eraser, because sometimes when you make like a really big line or whatever, you gotta get it good. So definitely eraser. For my math kiddos, calculator. You need a calculator. Always. Trust me for this. Like when you're trying to learn how to do the log of something, yeah. And even though we have AI and all of that, honestly, just use a calculator, because you're not going to be able to use AI for a test. So yeah. Now the thing with calculators is that there are different kinds. Like here I have this one, and then I have this one. I like this one because it has a big screen and it has a lot more functions. But technically this calculator wasn't allowed in my math class for like tests and stuff, so I had to use the other one. This is the Texas Instruments T183. Technically this is a graphing calculator, not a scientific calculator, so that's why it wasn't allowed. So just make sure you know what calculator you might need. Most of the time they ask for a scientific calculator, which is these bad boys, and trust me, you need to learn how to use it, because if you show up to the class and you don't know how to use it, it's gonna be such a struggle. So when you get your calculator, make sure it's one that you can understand pretty easily, and that if you don't understand it, you can learn how to use it. So this one is the Casio FX 260 solar calculator, and I mean it has so you can charge it with the sun, which is pretty cool. But I struggled a lot using this because I got used to using the other one. So yeah, for calculators, I think the best place you might find them would be like an Office Depot or a Walmart. They tend to have pretty good variety, or at least good quality. Honestly, I didn't get them from a store. This was a gift from my dad, and then the other one I got it in school, in middle school, so I technically didn't buy them. But like this one has come out really good, like really good. Pens. Honestly, something I learned about myself in college was that I really like using pens more than pencils, again for the reason that they break, you need lead, blah 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 blah. So a good brand for pencils is the Pilot G207, or the size of the pen is 0.7. These are really good. The ink lasts a lot. Do be careful, they might smudge, but just let it dry for a few seconds and it'll be totally good. These pencils, you can find them, pens, you can find them at Walmart normally, if not Staples, maybe even Michael's or Office Depot. But I think your most cheapest way is Walmart probably. Now, a lot of videos online like TikTok and Instagram, they tell you, oh, you don't need binders, but I did use a binder, but I used one, so not multiple. And the way I did it was I had my binder, or I would have 2 binders depending on the schedule that I would have, because normally I would have a class, different class, and then it repeats just like in high school. So I would carry 2 binders, one for, let's say, Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and then my other binder for Tuesday and Thursday. So that way inside the binder I would have folders, and that way I could separate and I could have everything. But honestly, that's just personal preference, and it also depends if the class is very much on paper or if it's online. So just keep that in mind. Something else that you definitely need are whiteboard markers. I know some people don't use them, but I really use them, and more for my math class. Over and over and over I would use whiteboard markers. So these obviously are the known brand, but obviously they're more expensive. I've tried out the Walmart brand ones, or even the Dollar Tree brand ones, and honestly they were pretty good quality. So definitely make sure you have at least one. Preferably the most easiest color to have is the color black, because it's just a common color, but again, personal preference, whatever color you want. Along with that, have a rag to clean whatever you're cleaning, because then you smudge your fingers and your fingers are all colorful. Now, this is something I have that really helps me. It's this small little whiteboard. I got this from a thrift store back in like middle school. I've had this for a while. As you can see, it's broken. It has tape. So yeah, but definitely I would recommend maybe even like a small one. I don't know if they sell these, to be honest. I don't think so. But this thing has saved me so much. I've taken it to my math class with me and I pull it out and like people do stare at me because they're like, what is that? But then I pull up with 2 + 2 = 4. And so I can do my equations on here and like it's really cool, and I can take it with me because it's so small and it's really beneficial, and it also like helps me save paper if I don't want to do it on the computer. Like that also helps me. So if you guys can, or if you guys are like me who used a whiteboard a lot, I would definitely recommend getting like a tiny one. Please guys, be a weirdo like me. Now, I didn't really use it, I didn't really need it, but my roommate really did. It's a stapler, so you probably should carry one around just in case you need it. I have this little one. I bought it at a thrift store too, but I'm pretty sure you can find these on Amazon, and I don't think they're crazy expensive. If not, I also have this little kit from Michael's right there. It has tape, it has like staples, it has extra tape, small scissors, a stapler remover, paper clips, a sharpener, and a tiny stapler. So yeah, I remember they had like blue and pink, so whatever color you want. I think they also had green, but I don't really remember. I think I bought this like in high school, and if I remember correctly, it was like 10 bucks. It was kind of costly, at least to me. I don't know how it might cost now. The tape is kind of cheap, I won't lie. It's not the greatest tape in the world, so maybe get another tape if you do plan on getting this. But the scissors are really sharp. The stapler is pretty good for being such a small size, and then the sharpener is also really good. So just in case you want a little set, that way you don't have to buy everything individually. But something else that I really saw people use was flashcards. I don't remember if I used them. I think I did use them for my communication classes. So if you know you're gonna take communication, which I'm pretty sure everybody has to at some point, definitely flashcards are your go-to. I don't remember where I got mine. I think I got them from my dad, but I'm pretty sure I've seen them at Walmart, Dollar Tree. Dollar Tree would probably be the best place to go. I mean, they don't need to be like the fanciest flashcards that you need in the whole wide world, and they're cheap there. Something that I also really used are flashcards. Thank you, Amethyst, by the way. I used so many this year in college. Like always, like you open my English notebook and I have so many sticky notes in there, like it's scary. So definitely get a pack of sticky notes. I've seen people use like multiple colors for like different subjects, but really that's just personal preference. I really didn't need it. I really didn't do it like that, so I just used these ones. But definitely sticky notes, definitely get some. Something that you are also going to really need is a pencil pouch. Don't get these types, like the boxes, because they're gonna hog a lot of space in your backpack, and you need to use it as efficiently as possible, but to save as much space. So probably I'd recommend a pencil pouch best. I mean, I got this when I was younger, but it can just be like a normal one. Doesn't need to have fancy designs or anything. But yeah, I like this one because it has 2 pockets, and even though I can fit a ton of stuff in it, it stays small. It doesn't hog up a lot of space. In the first pocket, I like to keep all the pencils and pens that I could use. Now, something that you also need, that I highly recommend, is a little like emergency kit, just in case of anything. You never know what the weather might be like, how you might feel that day, especially for my girls who could get their periods mid-class or cramps or anything like that. So definitely have an emergency kit. And within that emergency kit, I definitely recommend like some kind of lotion, painkillers, period cramp medicine. And then I also carry this like sunscreen with me because sometimes it's hotter than you expect. So even though the sun is good, let's try not to get skin cancer. Now, I am a very warm person, so I carry this fan around with me. I got this from my dad. And you just connect it USB way, and it just starts going, and it's pretty good. If you're a warm person like me, definitely recommend getting some kind of a fan. If not, one of those fans that like you wave and you get air, because sometimes the AC might not work. Sometimes if you commute, it could be hot. So just a little one, wouldn't hurt. Hand sanitizer, definitely you will need. You never know when one day you might grab onto the rail and it's gonna be gross. You might eat something and you get it all over your hands. So definitely have some kind of hand sanitizer just to be clean. Some other things that you could have in your little pouch is like chapstick, band-aids if you fall a lot or get cut very easily, gum is a really good one. Gotta keep your mouth fresh and clean. They sell these like little tubes of like Tide, where if you get a stain on your shirt you can just clean it off. I can be a very messy eater, or I tend to like stain clothes pretty easily because I brush past something that's dirty. So definitely one of those would be pretty good to carry around. And if you have any medical conditions or just have something that you need everywhere, totally take it with you in that little emergency pouch. Something that you need to also always carry with you are chargers. You never know, one day you might always use it all day for like the whole class, and the battery can die like that even though you charged it in the morning. So really always carry chargers just to be safe. It's better to be safe than sorry. Along with the electronics, you will definitely need some kind of electronic if you don't have one already. Like a laptop or an iPad is the two most common things. I have a Chromebook that I use for school, and I like this Chromebook. Like, I know they get a lot of like hate because they might not be as good as like a Microsoft, but I like this one because it was cheap and I can turn it into a tablet. Oh, it's turning on. Anyways, so I really like that I can multitask, and this one comes with its own pen. So if you're like me who likes to have a computer and an iPad, definitely get something that can be both in one. That way you don't spend double unless you want to. But definitely you will need some kind of electronic, because if you try to do everything by phone, it's going to be really difficult. You're going to struggle, and I just highly don't recommend it. Now, if your backpack doesn't have like a little pouch for your electronics, you could get like a technology pouch to put your computer in. My roommates had some, and it seemed to work pretty well. I never needed one because my backpack does have a little pouch for my electronics. But if you don't have one, you should probably get one just to be safe in case you drop your backpack or something. And definitely you are going to need a backpack. Now, looking back, I probably should have invested in a different backpack, not this one. Really, I just got it for the decoration. But make sure it's a sturdy backpack, because you might carry like a lot of things. So you definitely need one that can handle the weight and that won't break easily, because I used to have another backpack which I planned on using for college, and it broke one day in high school, which was pretty embarrassing. So definitely invest in a good backpack. It doesn't need to be like a crazy expensive one or a brand one, but definitely make sure it's of good quality. And also make sure you have a water bottle. You never know how hot it's gonna be, and sometimes you don't even know if there's gonna be water at school, like if the fountains are out or something. So definitely always carry a water bottle with you. Now honestly, I don't really recommend Stanley's or Stanley light cups, because you're gonna be on the move, you're gonna be doing things, you're gonna be walking, you're gonna be talking, you're gonna be moving your hands and things like that. So the Stanleys, they don't tend to fit in the backpack, and even if you do put them in the backpack, they might spill, which could damage your computer, your iPad, your notebooks, everything. So definitely try to get a water bottle like this that's pretty sturdy and that can handle a good amount of water. Honestly, this water bottle handles me a whole shift at work. So definitely, you don't need it to be humongous, but make sure it can handle a good amount of water. And I don't know if you guys can see, but make sure it's a sturdy one, because I'm very clumsy. I drop things a lot. I would not have survived if this water bottle would have broken so easily. So make sure it's durable, and most important, make sure it doesn't spill, no matter what. You might need a planner. I tried to use one. I kind of get lost after a while and I don't tend to use it, but I still use it. So planners, really, it depends on who you are, how you function. If you have always used a planner, like a physical planner, that's great. Use one for college, definitely. But if you're the kind of person that just looks at Canvas or a Google Classroom and sees, oh, it's due tomorrow, oh, it's due next week or whatever, maybe don't get a planner, because you're just going to be carrying it around. Or you can get an electronic planner if that works too. But really, the planner situation, it depends on how you function. It's really personal preference. Do not buy textbooks before your class. Do not. Because the school is going to be emailing you every single day. Hey, you need textbooks. Hey, you need textbooks. You need this textbook now, when the class hasn't even started. So don't buy the textbook until after you start the class. Normally, teachers will tell you, hey, by the law of the school, you need blank textbook, but I'm not going to use it, so don't buy it. And right then and there, you can save yourself $80 to hundreds of dollars. Hey guys, so I had to cut a bit of the last part of the video because I had some things to do, but I'm gonna finish it now. So that's why I'm in different clothes and the background looks different, but don't worry, I'm gonna finish it. So as I was saying, I didn't buy my textbooks like before my semester started, even though the emails kept constantly telling me that I had to and that I had required textbooks. And thank God I didn't, because for my English class, it said I had to buy 4 textbooks, each varying of like $30, which isn't a lot, but when you do the math for all 4, it becomes a little bit more costly. So wait until after you start your class. Normally the syllabus will tell you, or the teacher will tell you. So definitely don't buy it before. And if you do end up buying it, I have a few websites where you can get the books for a lot cheaper. I used these websites to buy my English books from the second semester of freshman year, and one of the books on Amazon was $100. On this website, I bought it for 10. So I really saved a good $90. I'll put the link in the description. One of them is called World of Books and the other one is called Thrift Books. Yes, they are not brand new books. And if you are looking for a specific edition of the book, definitely make sure that you buy the edition you need. Sometimes teachers will be okay if you buy the edition before, like the second to newest edition, but some professors could be a little bit more strict about that. Now also, maybe wait until like 2 weeks until after your class before deciding to buy it, because sometimes kids, or like other kids or other students, they're really good on finding it online for free. So also do that too. Like if you try to look for it online, really just put the name of the book, PDF, free download, and most of the time something will pop up. Again, it might be different editions, but some professors might accept it. Also, don't buy like graphing paper or like special notebooks if you get emails about it. Wait until after. So really what you should have before you start school is the basics: the pencils, the sharpener, the eraser, the notebooks, your electronic, things like that. Really basic, universal things that you can use in more than one place. But if you get, sometimes you will get emails saying, oh, you need notebook number blah 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 with graphing paper size 12. Sometimes that's not even the case, or sometimes the same professors will give it to you if your school is rich. And that's everything I have on my list. If there's anybody else watching who has more advice, more tips, or knows where you could also get better things, totally leave it in the comments. But yeah, thank you guys for watching and giving me your time, and for taking in, being open-minded to my tips and my ideas. I know some people might say, oh, that's not true, you don't need that, oh, that's not true, you could get something else, something better. But like I did say, this is really more of a cheap edition because I can be very cheap. I am very cheap with my school supplies. If I can find it for a cheaper price, I will, because sometimes you don't know how tight your money can be. So yeah, next video will be about dorms and dorm essentials, so I'll definitely start working on that. I'll get it out, I'll edit it as quick as I can, but I am just one person. I am building the list by myself, so sorry if I take a while. I know it's time soon to start packing and doing that, so I'll be as quick as I can. But I do have a pretty busy life. As you can see, I had to cut the video. But yeah, thank you and have a good day.